I want to talk to you about a few things that, in my experience, working with people who are saying, I want to be a real estate investor, and they're all in, but there's trouble. Like, something's not working. And let me tell you, like, the difference between the people who are doing it and the people who aren't. It's what's going on up here. Not money, not time, it's what's happening up here. And I see it over and over and over again. And I want to show you just some things to think about. So if I asked you, where are you? Somebody give me an answer. Where are you?
Delaware.
You're in Delaware. Okay. Are you...
You're not saying like a financially, where are you? Like,
No, just like you're in Delaware. So
Not ready for lunch.
are you... if somebody punches your arm, does that hurt you?
You asked me? Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Okay. If I cut off a leg, are you any less of you?
It's a matter of perspective.
That's what I'm digging for. All right. Does anybody watch Spongebob? I've had my tour of Spongebob, and I'm past it now. My kids are a little bit older. But I remembered this from Spongebob. So this is Plankton, and Plankton is on top of SpongeBob's brain inside his sponge head. So I want you to think about you being Plankton. And there's the controls. Controlling this, right? So some people say, take care of yourself, right? Take care of myself. That implies that there's two people here. Me that needs to take care of myself. So how is this working? Me and SpongeBob, I guess, is myself. So if you cut off your arm and you're not any less of you, you are just what you think you are. It's our perception of who we are that is in the circuitry of our brain, right? So that's one huge thing to understand. You are the person at the controls. And if you don't understand that, and you walk away from the controls, where is the body going? All kinds of places, right? If you don't have self-control and if you're not managing it, who knows where it's going to go? That is one of the hugest things that I see keeping people from being successful. They just can't figure out how to manage themselves. So whatever emotion comes or opportunity comes, there's like nobody at the helm. There's nobody thinking. There's nobody taking care of themselves. Here's another thing. How does it occur to you? This is 100% interpretation. So here's an example. A woman in her 60s. I was at this, I don't even know how to explain it, seminar kind of thing. And she said, when I was a little kid, like under 10, I was in my living room looking out the picture window, saw my two friends walking down the sidewalk, and I thought they were going to come up my walk and get me, but they were just laughing and having fun and kept going. And she said, from that day forward for the rest of my life, I told myself, people don't really like me. They just pretend. So How did that occur to her? That's how she interpreted it. So, how many things do you think happen regularly that you take a certain way? Somebody might come in the room and say something and have a whatever tone, and you take it a certain way, and it could have nothing to do with you. Somebody could give you the finger at the sheriff's sale, and you're like, this isn't for me. These people here don't like me. How about, these two are pretty similar. So a situation happens, you interpret it a certain way, then there's all kinds of thinking that can happen. So going through exercises like this, I realized something from when I was a kid. My parents both smoked. They didn't stop until, I don't know, that's probably in high school. So when I was a little kid, I'm the oldest of 5, we would say, we hate these ashtrays, get them out of here. And sometimes I collect them and put them on their nightstand, whatever. But I was thinking the whole time, I am not important enough for my parents not to smoke. I want the temperature warmer in the house. No. I am not important enough for them to not smoke or have the temperature where I like it. I wasn't crying. I didn't feel bad for myself. It's just what I thought, and it's just how I took it. So that becomes our lens. So how many things have happened to us in our life that we take a certain way? I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough for that. Only other people do that. People don't really want to deal with me. How much crap do we tell ourselves? And I know it sounds weird to talk about this in a real estate class, but if we're talking about real estate investing, and we're talking about going from point A to point B, I just told you the biggest thing I could possibly tell you to have you be successful. You could forget the rest of the class. There's some, look, sometimes I'm like, I make so much money in a week, it's unbelievable. Like I make sometimes in a week what I used to make in a year at the bank. What if I thought that wasn't for people like me? I just got to deal with the state that I didn't think I could do because I'm not a nonprofit and I'm not a government agency. I could have told myself, what are you, an idiot? You're not going to go to the state and ask to be part of this program. I did it. And they said, we can't believe we didn't think about you. Yes. I forget, like 7 years ago, somebody told me that I'm crazy if I don't start a RIA. I was like, what the heck's a RIA? A Real Estate Investor Association. You can't believe all the opportunities that'll open up for you. If I thought back then that it would be what it is now, I don't know if I would have believed it. But what if I thought to myself, I don't know enough about that. I can't start some big organization. Wouldn't have gone anywhere with that, right? All because of a thought. And in this game, there is so many like big dollar and risky things going on that if you're just not clear in your mind, you will stop yourself. You know, if we were talking about, I don't know, I've done a lot of little side things, you know, like Pamper Chef. Like, you don't have to have a big, clear head to do an MLM thing. Maybe to rock it, but if you just want to, like, do it, yeah. This isn't something that you can treat like that. But if you can get it together, oh man. Phil has seen. Phil does a lot of work with me, and it is like, I think probably I'm speaking for him, but I think some of the things he has seen after he's heard things like I'm telling you about the money you could make, I think now that he sees what's going on in my regular business, and now that he's going down the road in his business, he could tell you that it's just amazing. Like, you can do this stuff and you can make an awful lot of money. And sometimes it's just like fast, quick, big dollars. Sometimes you got to work a little harder for it. Sometimes you got to bust your butt to make it. But it is so doable. But just got to have it right.